In today's episode of Unscripted with Kathy, let's talk about something that not a lot of people are still comfortable talking about, and that is women who become victims of abuse or domestic abuse. I was one of those women. When I first fell in love with the father of my first child, I thought he was perfect. I thought, hey, this is a guy who's really smart, who I can talk to for long hours, who likes me, who prioritizes me, who's just out there for me. He looks out for me, he makes sure that I'm okay, and he takes care of me. I didn't realize that he was actually trying to make sure that I see him in just a good light, that I only see him. He kept me from my friends, he kept me from my family, he kept me from doing other things. He would say things like, let's just hang out together, just the two of us, so that we can get to know each other better, so that we can get closer. And at first, I thought, oh, he's just being romantic. I didn't realize that he was slowly making sure that I would have no one else but him. That was the first red flag. But because I was in love, I thought, oh, this is so romantic. I found a guy who just wants to spend time with me. Ladies, that's not normal. A healthy relationship should have you spending time together, but should also see you spending time without each other. Because how can you grow if it's just the two of you always together? So, no, it's not romantic. It's a red flag. The second one would be when I talk to other people, he would get mad. And he would say, like, I'm just looking out for you. These people are saying bad things about you, even your closest friends. He would make sure that there would be a wall between you and your friends, and it would just be him. And they do this because they want you to rely on them solely, so that even when they do bad things to you, you will feel like there's no way out because it's only them that you have in your life. So, this is another red flag when they just want you to be dependent on them, just them alone. That is not a good thing. You know how they say it takes a village to raise a child? Well, it takes a community for someone to do well in life. You need other people. You need to have other people in your life. You need to be able to count on other people. It can't be just one person. That is unhealthy, and that is another red flag. And then when I start talking to people of the opposite sex, he would get mad. And that's where the gaslighting starts. You made me do this. I wouldn't have hit you if you just listened to me. Why won't you listen to me? I hate hurting you. I don't like when you make me do this. No one is able to make someone do anything. That's manipulation. You are being gaslit. But at that time, I thought, yeah, if I just listened to him, he wouldn't get mad. I know he loves me. Why am I doing this? Why am I getting him mad? The blame shifts to you. Everything is because of you. You made them do this. You made them hit you. I mean, who does that? If you're actually in the right state of mind, you would be logical enough to ask yourself, I made him hit me? I made him slap me? I made him beat me to a pulp? No one wants to do that. No one wants to make anyone do that. And yet, they shift the blame on you, and because you have no one else to talk to, you have no one else to consult, you start believing, yes, it's your fault. It's not your fault. If they hit you, it's because they wanted to hit you. If they beat you to a pulp, it's because they wanted to beat you to a pulp. You did not make them do anything. They wanted to do it because they want to exercise control, because they want to exercise power over you, because they themselves feel that they don't have power. They need to make someone feel worse, feel little. They need to embarrass someone. They need to humiliate someone so that they will feel good about themselves. This is not just a red flag, it's like 1,000 red flags. So, if you can, please leave, run for your life. But I know it's hard because you've already been groomed, you've already been conditioned to think that they're the only person that you have. Well, you know what? If you don't have anyone else, you still have yourself. And if you have kids, all the more reason that you need to find a little bit of courage to reach out to someone to get out. I saw this meme the other day and it just made a lot of sense. If you got on the wrong train, exit at the first stop. The longer you stay on the wrong train, the harder it becomes to get back to the right direction, and the more costly the return ticket. It doesn't mean that you can't go back, it's just that it becomes harder to get off the wrong train. It becomes more expensive to get off the wrong train, but it is doable. It's just harder the longer you stay because we get conditioned. And sadly, people prefer the monster that they know over the possibility of happiness that they no longer know. Sometimes you get so used to getting beaten up, to being embarrassed, to being humiliated, that you forget what it's like to be happy. And the thought of being happy outside, the thought of having to go through a lot to achieve that happiness again, becomes such a far off dream. And it's not easy. When I left, I had no money. I had zero money. I even resorted to asking someone if they want to buy me just so I can have money when I left because I had nothing. The guy I was with made sure that I had zero money, a ton of debt in his name but transferred to my name, and I didn't even have like a single towel. Nothing. No pillow, no towel. I had to run back to my mom. Thankfully, she accepted us. But everything else, I had to scour for. I had nothing. And it was so scary. And there were moments that I wanted to say, hey, take me back. It's okay. I can put up with the punches. I can put up with the slaps. I can put up with your cheating. But thankfully, slowly, with a lot of prayers, a lot of tears, and with the support of my mom, I was able to really, truly walk out. And then my friends started coming back. Because guess what? They didn't leave me. I left them. And when they realized that I was there again, they started coming back. And they helped me pick up the pieces. That was me. Because I was so broken up. I was so broken. It took years to put me back together. If I will be honest, it took 10 years for me to be able to say, yes, I'm okay. I'm okay now. I know my value now. I love myself again. And it was hard. It was a struggle. But it was so worth it at the end. Because I finally realized I can be happy without a guy. I am worth loving. I deserve so and so. I deserve to be treated like a queen. I deserve to be treated with respect. I deserve to have someone waiting on me because they know I'm doing things. I deserve to voice out my opinion because it matters. And I deserve to be loved. And again, it wasn't easy, but it was definitely worth it. And you will make mistakes. Once you get out, you will make mistakes. You will want to go back because, again, it's familiar. And the unfamiliar scares us. But do it for yourself. You deserve to have a love that is whole and something that makes you better. Someone that respects you. When they hit you, the respect is gone because they didn't respect you enough to not hit you. So it's not there anymore. And if you say, but we have kids, all the more reason you need to leave because you don't want your kids to think, it's okay to hit someone else. My dad does that to my mom, or my mom does that to my dad. You don't want to raise your kid in that environment. It's better to have a single parent but loving home than to have both parents and violence ensues. Fights happen all the time. I would know. I grew up in a household like that. My mom was sort of a single parent, and my dad would occasionally visit, and most of the time, they would just fight. My mom tried really hard, but she grew up in another era where it was all about you got to stay in the family, you got to keep it together, you can't be a single parent. I realize now that's not how it should be. You need to raise kids in a loving home, and a loving home can be brought up by a single parent. It doesn't need to be two. If it can be both parents and a loving home, then great. But you can't be staying in the relationship where you are walking on eggshells and you don't know when gonna get hit next. You don't know if you're gonna get slapped. You don't know if you're going to be humiliated just by voicing an opinion or saying something. You deserve to be in a relationship where you can voice out your thoughts, laugh at things, be silly, and be secure in the knowledge that you are loved, you are respected, and you are cherished. So, for anyone listening to this, if you are going through the same thing that I went through, please know that there are people out there who would love to help you out, who would love to support you. I know it's hard. I know because I have been there. I stayed for 4 years. He started hitting me once I got pregnant. I was 8 months when he started hitting me. He kicked me in the stomach because he was upset about a game that he lost. And I was asking what he wanted to eat. And he said that I was so noisy that I made him kick me in the stomach. I was 8 months pregnant. I'm just so grateful that my son turned out normal, no missing limbs, no missing anything. You don't deserve to be in a relationship like that. You deserve to be in a relationship where you can voice your thoughts, opinions, and not be scared or be worried that once you get home, you're going to get it. You shouldn't get it. So please, listen to this over and over again. Listen to this once. But try to find the strength to leave and to stay out. Your future self will thank you. Your kid will thank you. And your life will thank you once you learn to get out. It will be hard, but you are worth it.